Hey guys, David here, reading some more of Aliens, Hippies, and Other Weirdness. My newest book. It's a collection of short stories from the world of Harold Hatch. Have you ever wondered why there's so many junked out cars in the South? Let's find out. Because this is called Hoarder, and it's about junked out old cars. Why are there so many rusty cars in the South? Harold Hatch asked his co-worker Daisy. She was a young, pretty woman with long blonde hair. She was busy applying lotion to her serpentine lower body. Daisy was a lamia, a creature from Greek mythology. They have the upper body of a woman and the lower body of a large snake. Are there a lot of them? She said absently. I haven't really noticed. Harold sighed and shook his head. Getting a straight answer out of you is impossible. Daisy let out a snort of laughter. Oh, really? A gay joke? Harold gave her a withering look which caused her to laugh again. I'm not sure how to answer you. That's the honest truth, she said, wiping her hands. What makes you ask? Harold sighed and leaned back in his chair. It's just that Keita has started hanging out with Matt on the weekends. Daisy raised an eyebrow. Oh, and I see you're afraid she's going to join his harem? Harold winced and gave her another look. What? He's got a group of beautiful girls fawning over him, and he's proven he makes adorable children. Besides, Keita and Carsey are friends, she said as she made air quotes with her fingers. When she said friends, Harold flinched again. Matt is a healthy young man, and she's a cute alien cat girl, and it's a long flight to Arcturus, and he rarely brings anyone with him. Two people alone in space. Daisy trailed off, then snorted with laughter. Oh shit, it's like the plot to some cheap anime. The absurdity of it all made Harold laugh as well. Daisy had a point. Anyways, he said, wiping his eyes, she's showing an interest in building engines and restoring vehicles, and I keep seeing a plenty old junked out cars, but nobody seems to be willing to sell any of them. I asked about a rusted car over on Oak Street, and the guy told me he was going to restore it. Restore it. The fucking frame is rusted in half, the interior was rotted away, the floorboards are rotted out, there's no motor, there's no transmission. Daisy listened as Harold told her about the various cars he had spotted. Most of them are simply rusting into the ground, but they won't sell them. I just don't get it. Daisy sighed and hung her head. Harold had a point, and she was curious as well. She had never paid much attention to the numerous old cars littering the South. Okay, boss, you win. I'm bored. Let's grab the gang and go solve a mystery. He groaned and shook his head. Half an hour later, they pulled into a large yard. There were sculptures of various animals and a line of small motorcycles. All of them were painted either pink or purple. Loud polka music blared from an open front door. A tall man, wrapped in a sparkling shawl and a long evening gown, danced in time with the music. There were 4 women dancing along with him. All of them had large bat-like wings and curling ram horns and long spade-tipped tails. Daisy recoiled and reached for her pistol. I hate succubi, she said angrily. Harold felt his heart race as he watched the demons dance with the doctor. Oh, fuck this, Daisy said before Harold could stop her. She used her pistol to shoot the speakers, stopping the music. The dancers turned and looked at them. Send me a bill, she said with a shrug. It would have been easier just to push the stop button, the doctor said with a wry smile. Ladies, please escort yourself to the dungeon. I shall be there soon to administer punishment. The 4 of them squealed and hurried out of the room. Harold, did we have an appointment today, or did Keita get into the catnip again? Harold looked at him confused. Catnip? He asked. Daisy stifled a chuckle. Ask Matt next time you see him. It's kind of funny. He made a mental note to do so. What brings you here today? Were my speakers some sort of shapeshifter? He asked Daisy as he folded his arms. Would you rather I have shot your little slutty sluts? I have a box of consecrated silver rounds in the truck, and if that doesn't kill them, I can always call ZZ. She asked him with a sweet smile. The doctor's face paled. The mention of that particular arch-demon frightened him. He had scars from their last meeting, and he was not in a hurry to see him again. Understood. Now what can I help you with? Daisy quickly explained the situation to him. His brow furrowed and he scratched his chin. I see. I happen to wonder the same thing. At first, I thought it was some sort of emotional attachment disorder, or maybe a mental disorder in general. But I think I know who we can ask. He looked at Daisy with a broad smile. Oh, fuck no. Seriously? Come on, man, let's just forget it. We'll go to the junkyard and get Kita a project car. At the girl's name, the doctor perked up. Oh, I take it she asked Percy about one of his old junkers. Harold nodded. Percy Clark was an eccentric old man who lived on the outskirts of Horsefinger. He owned a field full of rusted cars. Well, folks, let's go talk to old Percy. Maybe he can shed some light on this mystery. Let me change into something more professional, the doctor said before leaving. As the doctor was changing, one of the succubi came up to Harold. She had long red hair and bright green eyes. Her body was wrapped in a thick, fluffy robe. If you don't shoot, I'll tell you what you want to know, and maybe we can have some fun in the process, she said, tracing a finger over Harold's chest. He grabbed her by the hand and glared at her. Or I can tell my wife, a demonic slut, is flirting with me. Do you know my wife? Quino, real cute, blonde and crimson hair, about 8 months pregnant, also a fucking dragon. She gets really jealous. If I even considered cheating on her, she would butcher me, eat my soul, and incinerate you and your entire harem of sisters. Her face paled and she took a step back. It's an emotional attachment disorder caused by a botched spell. Some idiot wizard got tired of his neighbor hoarding things. Somehow the spell went awry and it fucked with the entire human race. Daisy looked at her flatly. Seriously, the mental disorder that caused hoarding is a result of a botched spell, and that's why people can't let go of old junk cars? The succubus shrugged. That's what I was told. Harold and Daisy looked at each other, then Daisy sighed and shook her head. I get it now. I think that, or that's it. Or maybe because some of those cars have sentimental value. Or maybe they think if they got rid of them, they're a failure. How many young folks bought some old clunker with aspirations of fixing it up, but they ran out of money, or maybe life got in the way, and if they get rid of it, then it proves they were failures. Or maybe they wanted to fix it up with someone special, or it belonged to somebody special. The succubus shrugged and smiled. Who knows? But right now, I have an entire rotisserie chicken up inside my vagina, and we need to make Canadian meatball subs tonight. So, ta-ta, she said before waddling away. Harold and Daisy looked at each other. So I'll leave Doc a note, Harold said quickly. On their way back to the office, Harold's phone rang. It was Keita calling to tell him she had bought an old van. Matt and I are going to fix it up. Also, I won't be home tonight. I kind of have a date. Afterwards, I'm going to spend a few days with Carsey. Harold felt a twinge of unease. He had been taking care of her for the last couple of years. The poor girl had been through hell through her teenage years. His wife and him had unofficially adopted her, and he felt extremely protective of her. But she was an adult, and he knew Matt Strone would treat her well. Okay, honey, have fun and we love you. Daisy smiled and winked at him. Harold dropped her off and drove home. His wife, Quino, greeted him with a hug and a kiss. Harold, she said, smiling sweetly, though her eyes were full of fury. Why do you smell like gunpowder and succubi? Harold gulped and told his wife everything. Later that night, as the four succubi were making their way home, a certain red-headed one was grabbed by a dragon with red and gold scales. After a stern talking to, she never again flirted with a married man. And that's what's really behind hoarding and all the junk cars in the South.